Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do player ratings of the Chiefs versus Supersport United, and we're just going to be chatting about the game. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, emphasis on subscribe. Please subscribe, especially if you're enjoying the content that we are talking about here. But let's get into it. So, Kaizer Chiefs played Supersport United. We lost 1-0. And I basically was saying it was more the coaches who were going to determine the win and the lose. And unfortunately, Gavin Hunt won this one against Nabi. But we'll get into that, and I'll also give Nabi coaching rating. But let's get into the ratings. Let's get to Cross. Cross, the goals tend to come from his side a lot of the times. Teams tend to have figured out that Cross is very slow, so they are attacking his sides now more and more in each game, and that's what happened. The goal came from Cross's side. One can say, are we blaming Cross and whatever? And I'm like, yeah, teams have started to realize his weakness, and yeah, it's one of those things that you can't now build a team to protect Cross. You know, that's the sad part about it. You cannot now force the team to play one side so that Cross's side is protected. You know, so that's all I'm gonna say. Cross, I'm going to give a 4. Dudley, he had an okay game. Supersport didn't really attack us in any way, but I feel like for the goal, he could have definitely done something. So I'm going to give him a 5. Then Miguel was late into this one. This is actually one of his worst performances, because that run of Tashreeq Morris was very obvious. He was doing the same run again and again. And eventually he was caught. Miguel was caught sleeping, and yeah. So Miguel, I'm also going to give a 5. Let me just give Miguel and Dudley a 5.5. Because other than that goal, they weren't really threatened too much. Frosler had a decent game. I'm going to give him a 6. He was not... He blocked his side. They couldn't attack on his side. So Frosler was actually one of the better defenders on the day. And the next one is going to be Castillo. One thing about Castillo is not really a ball playing DM. He's more of a box-to-box, and he supports in the box kind of thing. So in that essence, but he didn't play for long. But in the few moments he played, we looked a bit better. I'll say we looked a bit better. But yeah, it still didn't give us much input. So Castillo, I'm just going to give a 5.5 because we just didn't create enough. Samkelo Zwane, I'm going to give a 5. It was a bad performance. I even want to give him less than 5, but I don't want to be that harsh. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 5. He just played very useless passes. When I say useless, he didn't help us penetrate Supersport United. He actually made life easy for Supersport United because he would just pass safe passes. He wouldn't run out the ball in certain moments where he had to run into a certain space. He just wasn't very aggressive in his play. So I'm going to give him a 5. Serino, worst performance in Kaizer Chiefs, to be honest. I'm going to give him a 4. It was really not a good performance by Serino. Dushabalala, also, same result. If Serino doesn't play him, Dushabalala won't play. Here and there we would see him, but yeah, no. 5. Duba, finishing is a problem for Duba. You know what? I was watching Barcelona, and I watched Lamine Yamal, who just turned 17 years old, shoot with his right foot, which is his weaker foot, and hit a top-class goal against Real Madrid. But us, we have Duba, who is already 3 years older than Lamine Yamal, and he can't shoot with his right foot. Duba was there passing the keeper. Even Nkota of Pirates was taking way better quality shots in front of goal than Duba. So that's the thing with Duba that is very worrying for me. It's that we thought Duba was going to be our goal-scoring solution when he was coming from DDC because he was banging in goals for fun. and he was scoring left, right, and center. He had a shot. He had the right technique and everything. But ever since he has joined the senior team, he just does not have the right stuff, man. He just doesn't have the right stuff to be our top quality goal scorer. Because in the Kufa Cup, he got like 2 1-on-1s. He couldn't finish them. Today, last week, against Supersport United, actually, they gave him a tap in. He couldn't finish it. It hit the pole. Then today, he gets a 1-on-1 again with the keeper, and he passes the keeper. And when I say pass, if you watch the highlight of that game, he literally just passed the keeper. That is all we can say about that. But anyway, the next player I'm going to rate is Blom. Blom played good on the right hand side, but I failed to realize why we wasted Blom on the wing. You know, I wanted him more in the midfield. We were meant to force to penetrate Supersport through the middle more, which is what Mfundo Vilakazi was finding success in doing, because Mfundo saw that when he plays too much on the wing, it doesn't work for him. So he started tucking in a bit more. And when he was tucking in a bit more, he started finding spaces, started finding Mdusha Balala, started finding players around him, and he also got that shot at goal. So that's why I'm like, I feel like that was a big mistake from Nabi, playing Blom on the wrong place, because Blom was not meant to play there. But I'm gonna give him a 6. He did show us something there. Mfundo Vilakazi, I'm going to give a 6. He was the only promising player on the day. I'll even give him 6.5. He was the only promising player on the day. Matt, you know what? Sometimes I want to, it's sad when I have to talk about Matt, because Matt is literally our captain. I feel like no one gets it when I say this, or some people take it very lightly. Matt is the captain of Kaizer Chiefs. Let me repeat it so you guys can hear what I'm saying. Yusuf Matt is the captain of Amakhosi, Kaizer Chiefs. Let me give you an idea of when I say that. Yusuf Matt has taken over and become the captain of Kaizer Chiefs. And now you ask yourself, who have been the previous captains of Kaizer Chiefs? About Tefo Mashamaite, about Patrick Mabedi, about Cyril Nzama. These were about Itumele Nkune. These were our captains. Now, let me ask you, because maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Is Matt even close to being at the level of these guys who were captain of Kaizer Chiefs? Another thing, let me ask you. In the current Kaizer Chiefs team, is Matt actually good enough to be in the starting lineup and to even be a Kaizer Chiefs captain in the current team? Because we can all see Miguel should be the captain. And if Miguel is not playing and Given Msimango comes into that field, then Given Msimango should be captain. And if Given Msimango isn't captain and Blom is on the field, Blom should be captain. There is never a point where I feel confident that Yusuf Matt is our captain. But anyway, people will think I'm attacking him. I'm not. I just, if I was a player in another team and I knew I was playing against Yusuf Matt, I would know that my team is going to dominate the midfield, because Yusuf Matt has no presence in the midfield. So that is that. Yusuf Matt came in for Castillo, and then we just didn't look the way we were. Yes, when he came looked like he was going to bring some energy, but Yusuf is just not a very creative player. So all I'm going to say is that Yusuf, I'm just going to give a 5. And I'm going to try avoid in the next coming weeks to stop talking about Yusuf Matt, because it's going to start making me sound like I'm a hater. And I'm not a hater. I just want that Nabi just to put the best people. Even play Blom for the first 45 minutes, please. That's what I'm asking. Play Blom the first 45 minutes. Even if he's not fit, just keep giving him those first 45. Let's function like that, then playing Matt a whole almost 90 minutes. I don't get it. But anyway, Nabi, I'm going to give a rating of 4 today. It was a bad coaching performance from him. He was outcoached by Kevin Hunt. And the thing about Kevin Hunt that is sad when you are outcoached by him is that Kevin Hunt won't outcoach you doing nice things. Kevin Hunt will just outcoach you with negative football tactics. For example, he said his team is not going to play today. They're just going to sit back. They're not going to push anyone up. The only people who are going to run up is Morris and Undlov. And that number 9 that they had. They were only going to attack with 3 players. The rest of the team made sure that they never go up. That is tactic number 1. Tactic number 2 is give Kaizer Chiefs the ball, let them play in front of us, we hit them with counters. We score 1 goal, we put in defenders, we close the game, which is what they did. They scored the goal, they started putting in their defenders, the game was done. This is what Kevin Hunt did well. And a lot of you I've been seeing in the comments have been saying Minam Dom, Nabi, Kevin Hunt did this in the previous game. And I'm telling you now, if you don't analyze the game properly, you will realize that how Supersport played us today or this weekend was not the same as how Supersport played us in the other game. In the game of the weekend, Supersport played Kaizer Chiefs in transition football, meaning that Supersport was mainly keeping Kaizer Chiefs in Kaizer Chiefs' half. Supersport was in our half. If you all remember, in the first 30 minutes, Chiefs was struggling to leave their own half because Supersport and all the players of Supersport make sure that they press Chiefs from the front and they make sure that Chiefs keeps conceding throw-ins and keeps conceding corners, and that is how Supersport played the first game. But what would then happen is that when Chiefs got the ball, they would start hitting counters. And they would start doing transition football. And the transition football was finding Rangachi Vavero getting chances, was finding Serino getting chances, was finding Mdusha Balala getting chances, was finding Wandile Duba getting chances. Then what happened is that Kevin Hunt didn't make the tactical changes. And then he started fighting fire with Nabi. But Nabi has been coaching Kaizer Chiefs transition since he arrived. So the Chiefs players know how to do well in transition football. So that's why they punished Supersport United. Then what Kevin Hunt said in his tactical change in the current game, he said, you know what? I'm not going to allow myself to play transition football with Nabi because Nabi's team is very good at transition football. So what I'm going to do is that my team is going to play deep so they won't be able to run behind us. We're going to play deep and we are going to make sure Serino does not play. We're going to make sure Duba doesn't go and play. If they want to beat us, they must find a way for their creative players to come beat us through the middle. Now, Chiefs cannot beat anyone through the middle if they're playing with players like Yusuf Mat, because Yusuf Mat is not creative. And if Chiefs wanted to win this game, they had to change their tactics because they had to move Serino more inside and not playing as a winger. That is what Chiefs was meant to do, was meant to move Uduba and Serino a bit more inside and not play with width anymore and try penetrate them through the 1-2 passes, which Serino at some point did with Mdu Shabalala, and took a shot and he missed. But that's the tactical changes that Nabi missed. Nabi kept forcing this thing of them playing transition football or trying to play wide, which ended up in us crossing for no one, which ended up in long balls, helicopter football basically. And that's where Nabi failed the Kevin Hunt test. So Kevin Hunt wins this one. Nabi gets a rating of 4. Amakhosi for life.